I don't think I love you. We're not good for each other.
We've become self-obsessed, indulging all our bad habits without ever thinking about the consequences. We're not grounded in any external bond. That's why. I'm not gonna love you anymore.
Cut! The sacrifice makes something sacred.
We sacrifice now in the hopes that it gives us a better future.
It's like we treat our future selves better than the person here, right now. But what if you want love in the present? I guess it's about treating yourself as a community across time.
If love is a bond between two things, why do we treat the love for ourselves as internal and isolated? As if it needs to be protected from the outside world.
Why do we put ourselves through such suffering to love ourselves?
I don't know what the answer is. But I'm gonna try and work it out.
What is self-love?
The more negative definition is being very selfish, focused on your own needs.
You just keep suffering, you know, and never really find self-love.
If I don't love myself, for me to try and love someone else, do I even know what that love I'm giving someone else is?
I'm trying to work out what self-love means. There's a lot of bullshit around the topic, right? So I'm just trying to work out what it means to me. Thanks. Otherwise, we're just projecting our own ideas onto the world. We're just making it about ourselves again. True love is selfless.
So my name is Sarah Aisha and I'm the founder of Asra Club, which is a run club and community space centering Muslim women in sports, wellness and sisterhood. In Islam, there's a very important saying, you want for your neighbour what you want for yourself. And I think that in itself shows that there's a level of selflessness. You might not see the reward in loving others now, but it will be there later.
So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we should treat ourselves the way we treat those we love. But I don't think about myself when loving those people. How are you going to love yourself without it becoming an ego thing? When dancing around a room, you aren't trying to get to a specific point. You're moving for the moment itself. Maybe that's love.
Love isn't self-aware. It doesn't require a knowledge of the self. It's appreciating how something is and how it makes us feel.
It doesn't need anyone's validation. Maybe the best favor we can grant ourselves is to realize we don't need the desire to be loved. Maybe that's the best way to love ourselves.
I know what I am, I know what I could be, and I know what I'm not, but I'm okay with it.
I don't think you can not love yourself and love someone.
I think everyone desires to be loved.
Wu Wei is an ancient Chinese concept. It means effortless action. It comes up a lot when we talk about self-love, but the way that we chase love in the Western world doesn't fit that philosophy.
Maybe we're trying too hard to find love and well-being.
We're thinking about it too much. We're in a toxic relationship with ourselves.
Love is always shown as a grand event, something to struggle with and make sacrifices for.
Maybe we've become disillusioned with love because we're always romanticizing it.
We corrupt love with all our other bullshit, our impossible ideals and desires and our ego. So maybe it's time I stop thinking about myself and how I relate to love and just be.
Oh, come on, you call that dying?
Right, let's review the script. I know what you're thinking. If love is supposed to be peace, then why make a film about it? I mean, is art an excuse just to engage in an idea of love, or does this just make me a pretentious cut? Maybe the best way to show yourself some love is to not think about it. Just like Bukowski said, to try is to try too much.
Self-love is accepting you for who you are.
Self-love is coming to terms with your shortcomings.
Self-love is being honest with yourself so you can be a better version of yourself.
Because sometimes you're just so bound up in your own head, you forget to actually take the time to understand that you are a human being. At the end of the day, you're not a machine. Do you know what I'm saying?
Don't think, feel. Because if you want to know what love is, you'll feel it.
And just like that, when you least expect it, love will find you again. There's this quote, goodness, you've got to make it out of the badness, because there isn't anything else to make it out of. For me, love will never be as insular and alone as just the self. I think it's better to think of love as a place that exists outside of us, somewhere by itself, all on its own. Maybe self-love is the simple act of relaxing and letting go of our desires.
And we need to know that, because otherwise, one day we'll wake up and we'll just be sad, and that's all we'll be. But if we know love is still out there, somewhere without us, then there's always hope that one day love will find us again.